Should be getting more light in my shit. I'm just gonna do this real quick. Greetings, Grandma Simon Ra here, coming to you live again from Mombasa, Kenya, where I have spent 21 years of doing research on the fundamental question: is Africa the place to be? Well, I say no to that. I say Africa is not the place to be, but definitely modern Africa is the place to start off to be. The writing is on the wall. The evidence is all over the place. And now blacks are starting to come to see for themselves what modern Africa is all about. Now, of course, there are blacks that have come here and gone back to the U.S. disappointed. But I'm here to tell you that most of those people, they just came to one place. They looked around and, they spent that money for the bus ticket, the plane ticket, and they didn't want to really embarrass themselves. So they said Africa is nice. But really, they were saying they were glad to get back to the U.S. Now, I'm submitting to you that they went to the wrong place. A lot of people don't like me to talk bad about their country, and I don't know why they consider what I'm saying bad. Now, Ghana has the year of return. There are going to be a lot of African Americans going to Africa for the first time, landing in Ghana, and then evaluating. You can't help it. Evaluating Ghana represents all of what Africa is about. And that's just not true. And when I say that's not true, and I start pointing out the reasons why, I get this small backlash from people, and a downright hatred from the Ghanaians, many of who've never left Ghana or been anywhere else in Africa, to say, okay, you should not tell people they shouldn't go to Ghana. But haven't we been fooled long enough? Does Ghana, does Rwanda, does Senegal, does these countries, do they represent all of what Africa is? No. So when I'm saying go to a country where you can have business opportunities, that doesn't mean that there's no business opportunities in Ghana or in another African country besides the one that I'm in, which is Kenya. It means that you should be aware of these things before you decide that you're going to live your life in one African country. I know how hard it is for you to get to Africa. So you land somewhere and you be like, I'm too tired to go looking around other countries. I'm going to just let this one be the one for me. And so you just settle. But for some, it behooves you to move around to different African countries and see and compare. Now, the name of this show today is Where Will Africa Be in 10 Years? And I wanted to talk about something that is happening, which is the fact that Black people are now coming to Africa in larger and more numbers. What awaits them when they get here? Now, I often said that Ghana was a small country, and just recently, a Ghanaian that lived in Ghana left Ghana for the first time and came to Kenya, and he reiterated many of the points that I have already told you. He said that Kenya was far more developed. He was surprised to see there were, like, Nairobi is a city, and then he goes into another city. He went to Kisumu, and then he also found that they also have cities with buildings. This is not the case in Ghana. You have Accra, and then you have, which is a city, but then after that, you go to the next city. It has no city. It's not a city. It's actually a town. It's only one real city. You can't come with 100,000 people talking about that's a city. You can't come where you don't have paved roads, streets, sewer system, power generation in areas, and they say that's a city. No, that's just a bunch of houses lined up on a road with open sewage. Infrastructure must be there. So whatever they classify, and I have seen them classify these towns as cities, which is wrong in Ghana. And it's wrong because black people will come there, see that, and they get the wrong impression that a city is like what they know as in America as a town. So I invite all of you guys that hate me, Ghanaians that hate me, go watch the video and listen to your own citizen tell you what he had discovered while he was in Kenya. It is not putting the country down. It is putting the country into perspective. And this is what I think you guys expect from me, to put these things into perspective for you, whether it be good or bad. Now, I'm going to lose ratings because I'm saying, oh, this, this is bad things. I don't, I think Danny Samir is not talking to me today because I told him, I made a show and I said, the problem with Nigeria is that they have a lot of people that don't believe in formal education. And there are a lot of young people that don't even go to school at all. And then they play like they self-educate themselves and going through other things that deal with having to move through a society that's growing, and then you don't have a formal education. So in the U.S., we don't really understand that. We don't. How can somebody not know how to read and write? But you have to understand that. And then 20% of the population don't believe in formal Christianity, or they have their own basic homeland, home kind of religion. A local religion, as they call them. No, I didn't make this up. This is the facts that I'm reading myself. They have a very big problem. Too many people. The government can't afford to educate all those people. So there are a lot of people that don't even know nothing about education. And that is where you start growing scammers and people like this. These things that people have accused Nigerians of being. Now, that's just the perspective. So I want you guys to think about what I'm telling you. Don't get mad at me for saying, don't shoot the messenger. Just think about what I'm saying to you and hold that information when you go to Nigeria. And I'm not saying don't go to Nigeria. For me, I wanted to do business in Nigeria. But I changed my mind and I decided to go to DRC. Okay, let me see this right line. I'm in LPs, brother. How are you? Sun Temple, blessed to you, my good brother. Oh, you guys are still awake. I wanted to come on and go off quickly. Greetings, my brother. Sun Temple African for the Black Africans. Yes. What will you do with non-blacks in North America? Non-blacks in North Africa. Or the Arabs. Let the Arabs be there. They had their little own countries. They got a little bit of Egypt. People don't know that when you go to Egypt, you go to the capital city, Cairo, which is one of the biggest cities. It's all mostly Arab. But the further you move away from Cairo, the blacker the people get. So actually, the majority of the people there are black. It's just that they've been oppressed. That's a whole nother story we can't get into. Molden, there you are. Hey, man, what's up? Greetings. You're my moderator today. Good. So there's a lot of that, and you see, those are other things that we haven't even been able to deal with. And of course, you guys know Dr. Quao is here going through the social media now, talking about how the French is overdone, have stolen billions and trillions from Africa, and now you have the Benin president coming out saying he wants to get rid of the CFA money from France and replace it with their own currency. ECOWAS is trying to put their own currency together, and we should see some results of that. That'll be the death knell of France. And people see that the Yellow Jacket movement is still going on. These people are rioting. The French people are rioting in the streets because government can't provide the money and services that they once could before Africans started now to keeping their money back. Now these are the changes that's going on in Africa, and I want what is Africa going to be like 10 years from now? Well, many of you making your plans to come to Africa, it's going to be 10 years before you get here. What kind of Africa can you expect 10 years from now? That's what we want to get in today. But before I do that, I want to remind you guys again about our, yes, I had the paper in Nairobi, and I have it again today. And here it is. It's getting blurry. Oh, my camera needs to be adjusted. And there it is. I don't know if you can read it. Oh, my camera's out of focus. I'm telling you, man, the technical parts of this thing is serious. Let me see if I can fix it. Sharpen it. Oh, it's even worse. And I messed it up, and now I'm gonna have a blurry show. Let me see if I can, because there was a thing here. Oh. How's that? Hold on a second. Oh. There we go. So, oh man, the chat line is going crazy. Man, cool with local neighbor culture. It is not for to do anything. Them I cannot see whatever evil they do on this planet will do justice for them to them. If you're talking about the Arabs, injustice is everywhere, and injustice in the United States is never really being dealt with. Christianity must be destroyed. Okay. On the issue of Christianity, it's a too big a thing. It's in people's mind, and when things are in people's mind, it has to be removed slowly. So within 10 years from now, you're going to see a change in that, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. So what can we expect Africa to be after 10 years from now? Adriana Amoni, how are you? Oh, Africa is also here. I'm in Ra. I'm going to pay to go to Ghana. Okay. Pay for me to go to Ghana. Oh, you guys need Ghana. You're going to, listen, I don't hate Ghana. Okay. But if you've never been to Kenya, just come and then compare. Or watch that video from your fellow Ghanaian and listen to what he's saying. And I agree with what his assessment is. His assessment is exactly what I told you was the assessment when I did the research on Ghana years ago. Russia doing business with Africa. Yes. Why not? Even France, the French first president came to Kenya asking to do business. And then the British prime minister also came. They want to do business now, but it's too late. China is already over establishing. Did I put that in here? Can it be seen now? A little bit clearer. Yeah, okay. Yeah, support the channel with your small donations. It really helps. We received some great support from the other video. I think I mentioned all their names on the last video, and but we have to do this on a regular basis to keep this channel going. Now, I don't want to skip things, but I am working on the website, but I have to figure out the name of the website. So I hope you guys in the comment section think of the name. What name we're going to call our website? I was thinking like Black People for Modern Africa or something like that, .com. But I just said, let me wait and then discuss it with you guys, which I'm going to try to do. And I'm talking real fast because I don't want to spend a lot of time overdoing my time So yeah. Anyway, I mean, Russia is doing business with Africa. They have been doing business with Africa. It's just that you haven't heard it in the news. The Western media wanted to keep it away from you because they didn't want you to think like, okay, somebody else is doing business in Africa. They even tried to keep the Chinese out, but unfortunately, they couldn't keep that out of the news. And then when it started becoming news, that's when they started putting out a lot of negative, bad press. Even today, I got some guy in the comment section talking about what about the Chinese are taking over the port of Mombasa. You know, like we ain't said that thing over a year ago. We done cleared that up. But the propaganda, they keep on putting it in over and over again, and people can't believe that it's not true because you keep seeing it over and over again. But we already talked about that. But in 10 years from now, what you're going to find in Africa, modern Africa, is that you're going to find more free movement of people and goods. You're going to see more free movement of people and goods, so that people that are crossing over the borders and going to different countries, Kenyans are really good at that. You go to a bus station, you see people with large bags of whatever items they might have, and they store them on the top of the bus, and then the bus goes to another country. They'll find that movement would be eased for them, and the same thing back and forth. So goods and services, like wherever a country has a strong manufacturing base, and Kenya does not have a strong manufacturing base. That's unfortunate. One of the unfortunate things about Kenya is that I don't know what they did to the manufacturing base, but it hasn't been able to live up to the ability that it could by being a producer of goods rather than a consumer of goods. The Chinese are not really helping in that respect by having a lot of imports coming in. But like we see in Rwanda, they said they had their own Rwandan phone. We'll see. You know, they had a big send off, but then the thing died down. Let's wait and see if somebody is going to start moving in with manufacturing. Now, manufacturing, a lot of what goes on in manufacturing, it depends on the movement of trade, the ability to move the goods to different areas. So I would think that the manufacturing sections of modern Africa will start to grow as the free movement is starting more, and free trade starts to grow among the countries. We have the African Free Trade Agreement, which every country signed except Eritrea. Even Nigeria has signed the agreement, and they're working on the protocols now to have it start up in July 2020. I think by 10 years from now, all the bugs will be out of it, and you'll be seeing a lot of advertisements of manufacturing goods coming out of Africa. I mean, not out of Africa, but coming out of different African countries to other continents. Now, along that goes with manufacturing is the marketing. So you start seeing commercials about goods and services made in a different African country, but available in your country. And this is what you're going to start seeing in 10 years. And what it all boils down to is that Africa becomes self-sufficient, where it doesn't need outside, doesn't need imports to come from outside. So I think in 10 years, I mean, the game plan is already there. I mean, you wouldn't have a free trade agreement so you can trade inside as opposed to bringing having to trade with Western countries outside. Remember, one of the things that they talked about with the free trade agreement was that Europe's trades with European countries like 45% or 60%, I forgot the total. And America trades with it, states trade with each other, something like 40%, 60%, like that. And then they came to Africa and said African countries they trade with each other 17%. And they wanted to increase that. And with every increase, it means more capital, more money into the system. That's directly from Africa, which raises its value up. But at the same time, all for that to happen is that people got to be unified. Governments have to let down their goods, let down their guard, and allow free trade movements of other Africans to their countries. In some African countries, I was watching Dagote, the richest man in Africa. He said he got like 16 passports because he goes to an African country, he can't get into the country, and he's from Nigeria, and he said it's like his cameraman and note takers who can get into the country with British passports and things like this. So I'm happy to hear that he said that, and the African Union, of course, and these people are putting that together. And I think in 10 years, all that'll be fixed. The African Union already has started out with a African passport, and other blocks like East African Community also has a passport out. I think it'll get more serious now that people start going out and buying them so they can have free movement between different African countries. And this is what it's all about, because the West carved up Africa into small countries and then dealt with them on one-on-one basis in which they were weak. But now when they're all together and they can talk as a bloc, have more power in the trading area. Like China is China, U.S. is U.S. When you look at Europe, they're united. There's the European Union. You look at Russia, they had the Soviet Union. When you look at the United States, they had the United States. But Africa, all these different small countries, was done at the Berlin Conference, and it really kept us down. So we have to overcome that. All African groups know that, and they're working on it the best they can. A lot of the African presidents are into politics. They have to watch out for their political life, so they can't just really come out and say this. But I think the fact that they all agreed to do the free trade agreement, free trading area, shows there is an understanding that Africa must drop these borders amongst their people in order to gain power. Merle Moden. Yes, the guy who was getting interviewed by African Tigers said, if you are thinking about moving to Africa, come to Kenya first. Molded, I didn't hear him say that. I didn't watch the whole interview, but I knew what he was talking about. And I'm not surprised to say that he said that. But please, once again, if you hear what Molded has just said, please don't get mad at me and not go to my channel, because there's a lot of great information here. Don't think that I hate Africans, Ghana or Nigeria. You hear that, Dynas? I don't hate Nigeria. I'm just saying the truth. That's who I am. And you should have me on the show again, please. So, yes, I've been envisioning a United States of Africa. Zinga, you've been thinking about that, huh? Well, that's just a name. And it's a nice name, but it'll be copying off the United States. But I'm sure if you look back in the history of the United States, with the George Washington Monument and Washington and Lincoln Memorial, all these are monuments that were replicas of our monuments in Africa. So who's copying who? And the fact that they have their central governments that unite them, and then they want to come and then separate Africa. It's time for us to educate our African people on both sides of diaspora and in the continent. Both don't understand this, and they need to be educated. So get with your children. Okay, another thing. In 10 years, you're gonna have a lot more blacks who know somebody from America who has moved to Africa. See, right now, you people don't know that many people who are moved to the continent. Some of you might be lucky enough to have a friend or relative that's going there, but very few. But in 10 years from now, almost every black person should be knowing somebody black that then made the move. Because if we keep moving at this rate, things are going. Africa gonna have to be in the news, because people are going to be interested in what about their relative in Africa. So you can look for that. Now, what does that mean? Okay, I got my neighbor went to Africa. Okay, it becomes a conversation piece. It keeps that point on the, keeps that relevant in the conversation. And what happens next is, I'm here in America and my friend is in Africa. Let me look and see what's going on in Africa and see if I made the best choice. So you start looking at the news and seeing, start seeing stories on Africa and seeing if did they make a good choice or did you make a good choice? There is no good choice. There's no wrong choice. Africa is the only solution, I'm telling you. So whether you see it now or you want to continue to wait till America goes down even further, that's upon you. But Africa is nothing but up. You see what I'm saying? So all these things, well, Africans don't have money to pay for the things, the Chinese gonna take over. You see, this is all lies. And but this shows you the sentiment of what's going on in America. They know that black people want to hear negative things about Africa, and it is selling. Okay, because they write that article. Don't think they don't watch how many hits come on that article. And that's why I'm saying we need to. I go to the comment section when I see those articles, and I put that shit is fake news, and you should be doing the same thing because they're messing up our people's minds. So, but now when you get more blacks in Africa and coming back and testifying that hey, this is a good place, now you see you're gonna get more attention towards the continent. This is what I'm saying. In 10 years from now, many people are gonna know somebody that's already lived there. Like everybody in my family know I'm here. You see. But do they ask me, I'm in how was it and living in Africa? No, they don't want to hear me tell them it's good. You see? Because that make them feel bad because they know what they're going through in the U.S. This is a psychological problem we got to deal with. Let me see there. Oh, Africa is definitely rising. We know that, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So the people that are saying, let me wait, they're just becoming, that's just like the less time they have to build on that opportunity of being healthy and strong enough to grab a hold of their piece of the African pie. You know, I'm 61, I gotta go travel all over the place now. If I was 10 years younger, man, I'd be doing a lot of things. I just be seeing different opportunities just pass me by because I'm like I'm too busy. I'm tired. I want to spend time at home, So, but a young person, wow, you can get into business here and be, it's almost unending if you got the right mindset. Millis Rhodes, I spent 3 months in the Gambia. I'm making a way for my exit plan to leave. Yes. If you went there and you've seen for yourself and you say, I can figure out how to do it, that's a great way. That's a good thing. But I'm telling you, people, the bottom line is how can you make money? I'm telling you, if you don't make money, if you don't have a way to make money in Africa, then you're going to have a problem. That's why I say watch my video previous about understanding the economics of Africa. It is different than the United States. So you can't come here with an idea of the format that you use in the United States to do business and then try to apply it to Africa. No, it won't work. So you have to understand African, and like I told you, a lot of it depends on you, who you know. So you have to start learning to meet people. Now, in America, we're innies. We don't want to talk to people. We don't want to socialize, but you got to break from that because Africa ain't going to be able to help you if you're sitting in the house all day waiting for it. Hello, who is it? It's Job. I'm looking for you. Oh, yeah, here I am to give you the job. No job is going to come knocking on your door. It's got to be you getting out there and talking to people and find out where all the opportunities are. And so even if you go to Gambia or wherever you go, you have to look for opportunities, start talking to people and find out where there's a place where you can either spend your money that you may have saved or find a way where you can put in a new service where will help people. Africa is rising because the population is growing. The median age of Kenyans is like 14 years old. And I'm telling you, I go outside, it's like kids everywhere. Like, damn, this school I'm in, by the time you get to the end of the first 3 weeks of school, the school is packed, it's full. 2,000 something students is the maximum the school can hold. They'll reach that 3 weeks after the school is open. And that goes for all schools, and that's why private schools are a big business here. Anyway, I saw last night that Boyce Watkins is now starting to talk about doing business in Africa. Finally, maybe you'll change their minds. Yes, I think that, it's funny, Don Baba. I feel like that's the case because somehow they be using the same words I've been using in these shows. Like Phil Scott, an African plan. Now, you can go way back in my videos and when I was with Dynas and I was saying get an African plan. But that's good. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to take credit. Maybe I'm wrong. But you know what I'm saying? I didn't come here 21 years ago and find out that I was wrong. I didn't start that Black Man's Guide Facebook group site. Everybody should join. Go to my channel and click the Facebook Black Man's Guide and then join the group. Because it has all the information that I've been putting in, articles and things like that over years to tell you that this was going to be the case. And it just so happened, I forgot however I got on Dynash's show. And I remember I was on Dynash had me on the show for the first time, and I was like, what do I do? What do I say? He's like, just be yourself. Just tell them that you came from Africa for 21 years. And I'm like, and so, I didn't think it was a big deal. But then I came to later to realize it was a big deal, and that I had something to say that people really wanted to be. That more and more people are being interested in. And I'm saying, in order for us to keep that going, you guys got to do the right thing here, man. You got to support this channel like any other channel. Now we're way over here in Kenya, and I'm coming to you directly from the motherland. And I know the time difference is there and everything, and you know, you can't get Patreon, you can't get Super Chat. It's not in this region. So how can we really make money? They don't really want us to make money. But imagine now, if you support the channel by going to worldremit.com and sending in, a few dollars to support the channel, you are investing in Africa. You're actually taking the money away from the fucking slave masters and putting it into the hands of Africa. So you actually, every time you donate, it's like you're helping. You're saying, you're supporting Africa. You're supporting the channel. You're supporting me, and me. I'm giving back to you. So I want to make sure you guys know. Write down in there what is our website going to be, because I promised we were going to go to the website. And the booster, I'm looking at the booster. Somewhere I saw an article where the boosters are fake, and now I'm still redoing research on that. And I tried to do my phone on a router, and I just haven't had that kind of time to go through it fully. But I'll be going to pick that router. Well, the router that I saw that was 3,000 shillings, I'm saying like that is too much money, because they got routers for less. But now when I went to look at the less routers, then I found out they said some things are fake. So there's a difference between a router and a repeater. I got a lot of information I still got to go over, but we're going to move forward as we do. Action is what I'm talking about. What do you mean I deleted my feedback? I don't know that. Yep. And trying to paint as Baba like it is nothing but sex trafficking. Yeah. We have to get out of the news. I told you about that. Stop watching the news. Look at that guy. The guy gonna get over and give me a long comment on, and it's all fake news. He got all that from fake news. So I told him, you look foolish. Start talking about the Chinese taking over the Mombasa port. You look foolish. Everybody done killed that. But new people seeing it every day. So please, you guys help me out. When you see people tell them that shit is foolish, and if they tell you they're crazy, bring them to me. If you got trouble trying to make them understand, bring them to me. Write down what they said, and then let me just wear them out on the comment section. Where in Kenya are you? I'm in Mombasa. I was living in Nairobi for 6 years, then I came to Mombasa. I've been here ever since. This is my home. I'm from California, so when I came here, it was like the heaven. You know what I mean? Weather, beach, all that. Slow life. More slow. I like it. People are very much friendly. Lot less crime. Not really crowded like Nairobi. That's not the news. Pastors at those churches are making comments like that about Africa. Forget about an African is the one who said it. There gonna always be people like that all around the world, but they can't prove it. Whether they be African, whether they be Dr. Moonby, whether they be whoever, they can't prove it. When they get in front of me and I tell them what's up, they can't. That's the end of that story. And then you want to ask them, why would you sit up and make us talk about something that you think is true? But Dr. Moonby, she's very good at slipping her words in, like she's not implicating herself fully. She should be like, well, we should. The Chinese, I've been told, have been doing ABCD. So she can just skip out and say somebody told her, rather than taking commitment and saying this is what the Chinese doing herself. Sun Temple, you are absolutely telling the truth, my brother. Thanks, bro. And I can't wait to get there. Okay, yeah. get your money right. Get your money right before you come here, because I don't want you to be looking at me like I have to let you got to be housed on my living room floor. What's that? But you can't stay with me because I live with 5 women. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 women in the house, so that'd be different. I can't wait to get there. Okay. Does Mombasa have a drug problem? No, Mombasa doesn't have a drug problem. Now, America got a drug problem. Seriously, got a real, not only illegal drugs, heroin and all that, but also prescription drugs are a very big problem. So when you want to get out of that life, not to have to see that everywhere, then come to Mombasa. Now here you go an asshole. He gonna take a picture of somebody on drugs in Kenya and then put it and post it. Like, I mean, you see, there are drug people in Kenya. I'm not saying that people don't do drugs in Kenya, but for every person in Kenya that does drug, I guarantee you there's 500 more Black Americans and Americans that's doing drugs worse. So one, you want to see one or you want to see 500? Because you don't see tents everywhere, homeless people and stuff like that, which is a result of a lot of it is a result of drugs. So get that out your mind. Thanks for asking that question. That old guy Pharaoh said that be talking crap about Africa. Yeah, he's gonna change. Look at Phil and look at the other brothers that used to be out there. But boys, I just sent a comment to Dr. Claude Anderson, and I hope he reads it and responds and telling him, you know, you made a big mistake when you talk crap about Africa, and then you start talking about uh, blacks got to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, and then you make a slight comment that, you know, more Mexicans are buying your book than black people. I'm saying you wasting your time with Negroes, house Negroes in America, talking about they gonna buy politicians. That stuff ain't gonna never happen. You got to get away from the white man. He is actively, as the doctor said, the white man is actively oppressing us. And the only way for him to stop is to leave him completely, get out of his country. And that's what you're saying. You got to believe that. So another thing that happened in 10 years from now, where modern African will be, is that it will start to be more attractive because, as the United States loses its number one status. You already lost the number one status to China. It's just that they don't want to tell you. So if you ever heard lately who got the biggest economy, it's China. It's by far. You see, who got the most millionaires and billionaires? China. So what's left? You know, who got a money system that's a moneyless banking system? It's China. What you talking about? China is in a great position. It can look at the United States. It can run around and go all through the United States banking system and go through all of their, you know, see how their cities are done, and then they can make a model that shows it's better. That's better than the United States, and they have done that. They can look at the United States and see all the problems that the United States have, like with inherent corruption, and then they can go out and say, "Oh, we're gonna fix that." When we find some CEO fooling around, we're gonna shoot, we're gonna hang them, and that's what China does. We're gonna give them 50, 60 years. Look at America. Look at these people that was in the Enron scandal. Not but one person go to jail. What's that? I can't wait to get there. Okay. I told the guy, bro, yeah. Can the legacy of the Arab slave trade still be felt in the coast today? The difference between the Arab slave trade and the African slave trade is that the Arabs allowed the Africans to integrate into the system. That's why you don't have black Arabs like you have black Americans. You see, they ended up integrated. So there's no slaves from those days. You know, you don't have like, okay, this is a black Arab and this black Arab is separate from the family. No, they allow them to be integrated into the society. So you get black Arabs because of Islam. So Islam doesn't have a color code. So you see now they have to like just treat them like normal people, and that's basically how they do it. Now in the inside, they don't want the Arabs won't let you marry their daughter. No black person marry their daughter. They try to marry up and try to be lighter as possible, but that's, you know, they're so weak. You look at their bodies, and then, you know, because of their not having no black blood in them, they're weak. Go to the Olympics, they last place. You know, when you talk about weightlifting, Arab, wow, that's rare. You see, then their upper bodies are, you know, shaped different than ours. Their upper bodies are small. Now you see, I'm talking this thing, and now they're gonna be Arab people in here mad at me because I'm talking about Arab, but their bodies are slender. Same with the Ethiopians that deal with them. It's like you can see it, and as many people have wrote books about it, so please don't get on my case. Doesn't have a dropout? No. No, they don't have a dropout. What is? Okay, I'm way too fast. Slang. Okay, I don't know this word. Slang no to no. You're talking to Adrian. Yes, I heard those. Mill Sit Rose, my aunt from Mombasa, she encouraged me to go to Africa. Hey, I hope your aunt's not Francesca Porter. So if she's in Mombasa, if she's Francesca Porter, let me know because she's in her 70s. She's a retired school teacher. She's living here in Mombasa, one of my good friends. Herbie, do Hollywood slave films help or hurt? Any kind of film that's negative hurts. It's not really a benefit to us. It goes into your subconscious mind and it stays there. And then you get a few negative stories about Africa, and that just they join together in your subconscious mind, and then you make a subconscious decision that you're not gonna go to Africa. You got to clear your mind. You got to purge that catch of all that negativism, and you can replace it by having positive things about Africa. So what I do is, well, I watch a lot of positive documentaries. Now, some of them are outrageous, but it still helps to get rid of the negative, which is far worse. So I have a positive outlook about Africa, and people see that in me, and they think like, why is they so positive? There got to be something wrong with the place. It's the attitude that you have. Get rid of it. Get rid of the negative, and you'll see a lot of positive in Africa. So China hasn't submitted to the central bankers. I don't know what that means. Adrian, no, I'm Ghanaian. Okay, Adriana. Okay, no, she lives in Texas right now. Okay. Well, Ghanaians that are outside of Ghana, are living in America. It depends on what you're going to do. If you're going to really stay in America, but you see, you don't know America the way I know America before you got there. Because if you're in America today and you're trying to figure out, okay, this is okay, I can handle this. But I was in America when it was a lot far better. Okay, at least you could go to towns and cities that's all black. You could walk around and be free. Now today you can't do that because they have a black town in Texas, but it's like 50% white, and they call it a black town because they have one black mayor. Now what happened to an all black town? What happened when all businesses are owned by blacks? See, those days is gone. So what you're seeing in America today is not the same America it was before. It's gotten a lot worse. But you couldn't see that because you just got here yesterday, got there in America yesterday. I'm planning to visit Ghana next year. Go for it. But if you've never been to Africa before and you really want to come to see if Africa is the place to be, Ghana should not be your first choice. That's all I'm saying. Now you go to Ghana, or you come to Kenya first, look at Kenya, then go to Ghana, and then if you say Ghana is better because it's got more infrastructure, got more business, got more opportunity, better schools, blah blah blah, I'll pay that $30,000 for your ticket. So that's how confident I am about what I'm saying. I'm in the process of transferring my life out of these individual states of America. Yeah, well, the whole issue is the money that you generate to pay taxes and all that in America is help America stay alive. When you remove all of that process, when you move to Africa, you remove that process. You don't buy gas, you don't buy electricity, you don't buy food. So you see, that's less food. That's more food that's on the shelf. That's more petrol that's in the tank at the gas station. So that's what happens when we leave. You hurt the economy. That's what the GDP is all about. They need you to go to Black Friday and the Christmas shopping to spend money. But if you're not in the country, let's say you leave America for Black Friday and Christmas and come and do it all in Africa, then you'll damage the economy. If even if 100 blacks did that, you damage their economy. Your local economy would feel it. Your local store, your local petrol station, your electric company, they're gonna feel it when you're not there and not spending that money generating for them. That's what it's all about, but they don't want to tell you that. Gentrification, yeah, definitely that's an issue. But you should see now that you right talking about I'm gonna stay in America, I'm gonna wait 10 years before I go to Africa. You're gonna be missing out. Another thing, in 10 years, what you're gonna be finding in modern Africa is that blacks are going to start having African children. And so when you have that, then you see now you have one choice. You have a choice either to embrace the fact that they have family in Africa, or you can totally ignore it. Now, my family, they like to totally ignore that they got relatives in Africa. They're like, I'm an alien. It's so silly. Now here, my children are getting older, and they're getting into the workforce now, and so they're going. It just makes no sense for you not to connect with them, and maybe work together and do business. But it's too late because my family has been like that for over 40 years. Even when I was in the U.S., I didn't even bother to talk to them about moving to Africa because nobody was supportive of that back in the 90s and the 80s. They were not supportive of that. They was like, what? But today, now, whole things changed. Do you think I'm gonna get a call from them? I mean, I really now I understand the why you would know. I ain't gonna never get that because family members, black people in America, we like that. You see, you can go like 20 years without talking to me. That's not a problem. Do that. I went 10 years without talking to my family just because I was mad at them for doing that. When I was coming up, I used to take all my younger cousins and everything to the Disneyland and pay for them, and, let it be the family together. I don't know where I got that from, And then, well, did they reciprocate when they got older? Did they continue it on? No, they forgot. They forgot that I took them to Disneyland. How the hell you gonna forget I took you to Disneyland on multiple times? Joking. So I just say that's sickness. My parents were immigrants. It's cheap to go to Kenya. I use as another thing about Ghana. It's expensive. It's more expensive in Ghana, which is a small country, than it is in Kenya. Kenya has a socialism type background where you can get affordable housing at almost the cost of nothing, and that's a good thing when you talk about, oh, am I gonna make it in Kenya? So I would try to point that out. Ghana don't have that in the areas that they're in, and they might be having people in Ghana that are forcing those like affordable homes to not be there, force Black Americans to have to pay those high rents. You see what I'm saying? Those could be. I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying these kind of things are what happens when you have a smaller community. People start getting monopolizing real estate and saying, well, I mean, if you take a Ghanaian, he comes into a lot of money. He's gonna start building rental homes. He knows that Black Americans is coming into the country, so he's gonna build the homes and then charge a high price for them. And that's why people know that Ghana is more expensive to live, and the food is more expensive in Ghana than in Kenya. Yet Kenya is 3 times the size with 3 times as much development. I have lots of friends that have moved to Ecuadorial Guinea. Okay, the country don't matter. If you get to make money, you want to go where you can make money, or your children, when they get out of college or high school, they can get into the system and start bringing home money. I actually need to update my suitcase. Gotta go look for some today for my trip to Africa. Do that. Action every day. That's action every day. I finally caught you live from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you, Latoya. Welcome. I'm here and I'm in the chat line. I'm not like my fellow bloggers. See, people get mad at me because they think I'm talking. But it's true. Some of my bloggers, they just record their things and then they don't get out there and they don't want questions. But I'm a wealth of information. Imagine now, I've been here for 21 years. I've been in relationships. I've been in business deals. Been so many business deals I can't even imagine. I can't remember all of that. But if you put a line in the question section and say, what's the hardest thing that happened to you when you was in Kenya? And I'm like, I can give you stories. I can remember when I got my major club for teaching. I was making a living by teaching martial arts, and where I was living in the far side of town, Outer Ring Road, and I had to catch a Nissan to town. So the Nissan from Outer Ring stopped on the east side of the town, and the university is on the far west side, opposite end. So I had to get off the Nissan and then walk 35 minutes through the city to go teach a class for an hour or two, then turn around and go 35 minutes back with a backpack with a lot of fighting equipment and stuff on my back. And I did that for 2 years straight, never miss a class. You look back at that thing, and I'm like, man, how was I walking across this town like that every day? But those are funny things that you can think about. Now you don't have to do that because you got border borders. Motorcycles, I can just get on and ride right into the campus. So things have changed for the better by far. And if I was If I was sick and I couldn't go to class, there's no way everybody would still come to class because there's no way I could contact them. But today I can just get them all on SMS and say no class today, and send out the message, and everybody would be aware and have to go to class. I wouldn't feel bad. But anyway, if you hear that background noise, that's Taekwondo, doing Taekwondo in the background. I'm still early. I finally okay. Thanks and same to you. Okay, Ghanaian food is the best. Okay, I would agree that Ghanaian. I would love to try some Ghanaian food because I heard that it's really good. Because Kenyan food, quite honestly, okay, Kenyans are very conservative on their basic meals. So it's chapati, amachoma, some chicken in town, and githeri, and neji, these kind of. That's it. It's only a few of them. So, but basically, I hear that the foods are. I mean, how many different ways can you cook meat? You know what I mean? So, if you're a world traveler, you tasted it, it's gonna be this tastes like that food. This food tastes like that food. This food is really this food. He's like, oh, okay. So anyway, Kenya is a hot spot for European professionals, and they make a lot of money. That's not true. Europeans only make up 2% of the people in the country. So how hot can they be? You know what I'm saying? I can tell you, I go months without seeing white people. And most businesses today, blacks are running the thing. It wasn't like that 20 years ago, 30 years ago. No, you had a lot of foreigners, Asians, and in Kenya. But today, black youth ain't going for that. I don't know. They just like there's no way that they're gonna let some Indian come and take over all these businesses. There ain't none in the military, and there ain't none in the police force, and there ain't none in the central government. I mean, government. So I don't know how much kind of power they can have. The government, I'm telling you, government officials are Kenyan. They won't tell you this, but when they say a white person, there's no way they're gonna let the white person run. Even me. Sometimes I'm doing like pushing some hot business, and they be like, "What's going on?" There's a foreigner doing ABC, and I'm like, "Damn," They come up, "Well, who you are?" How long you been here? I've been 21 years. You a Kenyan then? Okay, then they let me go. See, so hey, there's no way. Why? Just look and see for yourself. Come here and come count them on your hands, and they're not making money here. They bring in money. They got money to support them while they're here, but they ain't in no numbers. This is no brainer. Kenya is online. That means Wi-Fi. Yeah, Wi-Fi is big money. I don't know. We gotta fix that issue, but I think it's anyway. I don't know. We're gonna start getting a shortage on the line soon. But anyway, how many minutes? 52 minutes. I'm done. You guys are killing me, man. My father is a fourth degree black belt in Okinawan and style karate. I learned a lot from him, and all melanated souls need karate to be taught. Okay, Latoya. Now you see, this is Grandmaster Rod telling you that I have introduced a black martial art that has defeated Shotokan and Taekwondo. So if you come to Kenya, you got your regular Asian martial arts, and then you got one that's developed by blacks. So it's sweeping the country. And I don't have real control over it like I did. I'm the one who introduced it, but now I don't have control over it because it's too big. And I saw that on the weekend. I tried to run for office, and then it was like people were fighting against me. I'm like, how can they go against the man who brought the thing? Yeah, but that's a different story altogether. Lance Kelly, how are you? Peace. The queen is in the house. Evalyne, hey, welcome. I'm just about to finish. Will Africa withstand a military assault? You watching too many? You also in the West success. It's funny how these propaganda lines are always the same. Success may warrant them to. Okay, you start talking about controlling the country militarily. The United States is not going to come to Africa and start doing that. Surely, just get that out your mind. You can watch many GI Joe movies. Okay, the African is not that stupid to piss off a superpower to the point of military action that they know they can't win. You see? Yet they was able to kick the white man out through colonization because the numbers like people will resist that. Now, what you gonna do after you bomb a country? Now, this is what they're talking about in the Pentagon. The white man said, "Let's bomb Kenya." Okay, what's gonna be the fallback? Well, you're gonna have like 100,000 Kenyans in America gonna start acting up, and we ain't gonna be able to do business with any of the other countries that in Africa, like Tanzania. You got they all gonna come close together and say no. We won't do business with America anymore. The AU might come out with something. Dr. Quayle is gonna have a field day all through social media, running around talking about how bad the West is. So you see, it doesn't profit them to come and do something like that because what's the end game? I mean, if America was really going to take over Kenya, why would they let the Chinese come in and take 75% of the business? 75% of Kenya's business with foreign countries is with China. Now, how is America that was sitting on their hands and knees? Barack was just saying, let me, he was so busy bombing Libya that he didn't notice that the Chinese was taking over. The Chinese did the African-China agreement in the year 2000. It's now 2019, and America is just here the other day talking about we're going to help, we're going to invest in Kenya too. No, they're just talking. They can't afford to do that now. And they've already have a long history of IMF and World Bank fucking over African countries. So they won't. And anything that America tries to put in, China will come behind the scenes. Like when Barack Obama came to Kenya, the Chinese sent a delegation to the State House, and all they said was, "Mr. President, we're going to triple our investment in your country." Just like that. So President Uhuru met Barack Obama, who was coming here with a bunch of people that's from the real beauty of Africa. You got to get away from the negativity. Okay? You say, okay, China is not everywhere. It's only 20,000 of them in Kenya. 20,000? How would 20,000 compare to 50 million? Come on. They just here struggling like everybody else. When you see them on the streets, they just got a little small shoe business or a little small retail computer business. They're trying to make money in Kenya. They ain't all over the place. Like, you're going to see like 5 limousines roll up and all of them, the Chinese delegation going to come out with, it's not like that. Chinese were poor people too. And there's still many poor Chinese. Why a Chinese billionaire gonna come live in Africa? Why he gonna walk around and look like he got a place everywhere when he could be in his own country and pressing the hell out of Chinese women all over the place? He can go to Philippines, he can go anywhere. Why would he want to come to Black Africa where he's a little small guy and when he can be in his Asian country where the height is the same? See, so I don't think about Chinese coming to Africa take over what? What they gonna take over? You know what I mean? They don't believe in guns, so for the people. So what they gonna do? Surely it's only the white man in the old days when he come here with guns and kill you, and use fear tactics to take over, to scare people off their land. But those days are gone. I'll return if they get those whites and Chinese under control. My with consent plus. Okay, well you've just been brainwashed. Stay your ass on in the United States forever and watch CNN and believe that the Chinese take over. They've been saying that the Chinese are gonna take over the ports and all these things. Not one example can you give me of this happening. So either somebody's lying to you or you watching too much propaganda. You need to stop that. That's why I built this channel. To get some people, they want to get their mind right. I have a publishing business in Atlanta. I want to mimic Nollywood's success. Any thoughts they created an industry with sheer will. They did, and because of social media is making a big turn here, people are able to use their phones to watch a lot of social media, so they're not really watching television as much. Now it's a stage that Africa is going through. You know what I mean? My TV broke, but my kids got tablets. They just watch cartoons or whatever they want on the tablet. So there's no real need for that. So the movie industry and things like that, publishing industry, there's a lot of self-publishing going on now. So and there's a lot of competition. So you see, if you come with a traditional U.S. mindset to do business in Africa, it's probably going to fail. You must understand and get a hold of Africa and understand and get the feel of what is working. There goes the connection is going. So, yeah. Then why keeping blacks people out of their own towns? They shot them. Okay, well, you see, you're wrong. There's nothing like they shot anybody. That's just propaganda. You must understand that the news will lie to you. You must understand this. Now, I'm sorry for you because I don't have the time to try to make you see all the negative things. You think what the bottom line is for someone like you want America to be the place to be the best, and you want Africa to be like that. So you gravitate towards negative nonsense, and you're not even caring enough to check and see if what they're telling you is true or not. So for you, I have no words. Just good luck. Stay there in America, and continue to think that Africa is going to die. But meanwhile, all the economic indicators are showing you Africa is rising. So I don't know what you're talking about. Those are just nonsense. Maybe you should give me the sources of your information so I can debug them for you. Uh, False flags and lies. There is no, yeah, that's the problem. I was so mad when I came to Africa because I was like, I was there. I realized I had been lied to so badly. You know, and I'm one walking around like, damn, this is beautiful, and nobody knows about it. You know what I'm saying? So I come here, I meet an African woman. We go out on a date, and she's just beautiful and naturally warm and understanding. That because she was raised like that. She didn't have no curse words in her. She didn't even know how to curse. So it was like, you motherfucker, take me home. Nothing like that. And she didn't have that kind of hot temper, the African woman. So I'm like, I'm not saying that I didn't for women that are past or that black people are women are I'm not trying to say one is better than the other or one trait is better than the other, but I'm saying people didn't know about these things about the African woman and her abilities. You know what I mean? I surely didn't before I made love to my first African woman. I was like, I wonder what it's going to be like. I wonder if she's going to understand me or. And then when I finished, it was like, when we finished, it was like, they ain't no different than any other woman. But going into it, I wasn't sure how I was supposed to act. So you got to experience these things for yourself, then you can see. And then I realized I had been lied to. You're right regarding the propaganda. Yeah, the false flag. Yeah, I'm around my brother. No other black person that I know is doing what you're doing. So making videos on information about how come Africa and get up. Thank you, brother, for that. Some temple. When I come, I'm coming to meet you. When you come, make sure your ass comes to meet me. Okay? I'm telling you, so everybody can meet me. Then come here and tell me nonsense about it. Let's go find the Chinese people around Africa all over taking over the port. I got friends that work at Mombasa port. So that was years ago. I was asking them these same silly questions, and they was like, "Hey, the Chinese is doing nothing like that." The government was trying to force Africans to use the SGR because of some political stories, and shoot, the Chinese was like, we built the railroad. Where's all the goods? And then they found out it was Kenyan executives that was holding back the goods from putting it on the train, and so they all got transferred, and a whole new group came, and then the train. I saw the train last night, just whoosh, passing by. And I mean, not last night, but the two when I was in Nairobi, just smooth, taking goods back and forth. So however people want to complain, the train is working. How much monthly income per month to live there? That depends. It's not a lot of money. You know what I mean? I can say I live like a Kenyan, so I have a very low amount of money that I use for my daily running the household and everything like that. So I say you can make it good here with less than $200 a week. If you live like a Kenyan. Now, if you're living like, you got to live in like American, then you're going to be talking about $500 a week. So it depends on you. It's up to you. I'm older. I've been here a long time. I know, and I'm happy. I don't have to I don't have to worry about paying my rent money every month because I don't have a high rent bill. So, AK, Kenyans were given the opportunity to have dual citizenship so that they can invest back home. They are sending billions of dollars back and have invested heavily back home. And for my people, for black people in America, you can become a Kenyan citizen. You can have dual citizenship and walk around. So Kenya offers that, and people just don't see, like, they think that the African is different than America. And I'm telling you, you guys is making a big mistake. You got to think of your African. Is Kenya, that area, run by the British or the French? Okay, Kenya, it's run by Africans since 1964, my friend. I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know. So I don't know what you're talking about. I just got through telling you guys that white people are very few in number here, and nobody is running things. Kenyans will not allow white people to be even in government. So I don't understand what you're talking about. You forgot about WikiLeaks? You don't remember WikiLeaks? After the WikiLeaks, they kicked the American ambassador out of Kenya, kicked him out, got 2 weeks to get out. You see what I'm saying? Because he was talking shit about Kenya. These people, you know who in charge. If you can kick out the American ambassador in the country, who in charge of your country? You need to get yourself updated. Africa is for the Africans, and Africans ain't. You see? So you think like Robert Mugabe was joking when he came and took the land from the white people? You're joking. You think Nelson Mandela was a great man? No, they ain't gonna give that guy a holiday because he didn't come through with his promise. He tried to be appeasing white people. So you can be sure that ain't gonna happen. Africans know they're not gonna be fooled forever the same way twice and three times. They know who the leaders to look for, and the next crop of leaders is gonna be the ones that are gonna save Africa for Africans. Sorry for all the ignorant questions. No problem. That's what I'm saying. You came to the right place. Go to watch some of my other videos, and then you can get the message on that. So let's go to the last thing. In 10 years now, social media will be big business in Africa. It's already big business now. Most Africans got their head in their phones. But what about the content? Content's all over the place. A lot of them are watching gossip shows and things like that. Kenya's not being educated. But I think in 10 years now, it's going to settle down to certain particular groups like African WhatsApp, African YouTube, African Facebook, and then they're going to get a lion's share of like right now, Facebook used to be big in Kenya, but now WhatsApp is taking over. And what's happening in WhatsApp, this app is where you can become a group of people. So groups of like-minded people come in and give out information to each other. And they're very big in Kenya and throughout Africa. So even though it's owned by Facebook. But WhatsApp is used more by Kenyans than Facebook. Although it's very hard to keep. If your phone has a problem, then your app for WhatsApp doesn't work, and you have to restart it all over again. That's a problem. But I'm sure in 10 years from now, all those things will be moved from there. KCB Equity Banks are Kenyan. Okay, you're Kenyan, investing in East Central Africa, and KCB and Equity Bank. Yeah, but you have to remember that there's M-Pesa, and M-Pesa, what Black Americans in the United States don't know what the M-Pesa is, and it's a cashless system of transferring money and doing deals with money, which means like with my businesses, I can get paid from a person in another city. They can pay me money directly to my account right here by using my phone. So when I do business, when I create my businesses ideas and concept and payment plans, I input that. I look at M-Pesa as a way to go, since 90+% of the population uses M-Pesa. You see, so you go to a business, and more and more businesses, you look on the wall, and it's got a PIN number there for that business, and then you just send the money to that PIN number, and the business gets the money. You don't even take your wallet out. See what I'm saying? So it's the same thing here when you guys support the channel, and I know you're going to be supporting the channel right now. Come on, let's try it. Go to this website. I hear that they ask for a little, but it's very quick and easy, and then the money goes directly to the person immediately. Yes, the last show we did, someone sent money, and when I was here and the phone rang, it was like, wow, they sent the money. And for those people that are normal, regular supporters, do that. So I can come up and say, hey, thank you for the support, and the rest of these people can see that people come on there, I love my black people, but black people have done me wrong. You see, and right now I'm saying I'm going to catch hell for making these kind of videos some kind of way down the line. And nobody does them for free. So you see all these other people that voice like Dale, he's there, he's collecting money. His channel is monetized, he gets money on a regular basis. So that's why you have to keep having these shows on a regular basis. Now, my channel is not monetized. You don't see the little thing on the screen where you got to click to get that little advertisement off. This channel is not monetized. So the only way we can make money is through this, because I'm in Kenya. So you see this channel and you're saying, wow, this is good. This guy got a lot of good information. Yes, support the channel. Go to the subscriptions area. You can also see the same information there if you want to do that. Send $5, send $10, and support the channel, because that is what motivates me to do this work. Now, the last thing I want to say before we end this video is about the name. I'm talking to the hardcore people that are saying that they're tired of America and they have become black conscious because they have started looking into the history of the white man, and then it's been touching them. And now you're either a house Negro, a field Negro, or an African. So right now, if you believe you want to live in the United States, you're a house Negro. If you want to move from Africa, the United States, and you're not sure you want to live there, then you become a field Negro. Once you get into Africa and you decide that you want to be here, then you become an African. And so the hardcore of us, I want to discuss about that name change. Some of you got Johnson, Franklin, George. You know, I understand that you need that in order to get some work, because you ain't gonna get no work with a name like Amon Ra. Trust me, I know. You're gonna get a lot of flack if you do that. But you should have an African name for yourself that you know is on paper you can say to the closest people you want. You need to get that identity back in you. So you see, you're a minority in a white man's land, and I understand. You know, you got to say, "What's your name?" I'm Toby. I understand that, but then write on a piece of paper, Kunta Kinte. Yeah, I'm Kunta Kinte. You know what I'm saying? I want so you don't lose your who you are, your identity. Especially if you're gonna come to Africa and you're gonna have children, so you gotta get ready and used to that, so that you don't come here and then you start naming your fucking children. You have children with an African woman, and she gonna put on the birth certificate Jackson. You know what I mean? I'm here, one of the largest schools. There's like 3 or 4 of those kind of like Donald Jackson, 3 out of 2,000 kids. The rest of them know their identity. They know they're African. Their names represent them. You see, my kids, when they go to school, they see Ra. What? Who's this kid? They say your dad is from America. Well, they're like, what's the Ra? You see? And now my kids can tell them, okay, yo, you know, Ra means son, and this is this and this and this, and you know, I don't have a. They damn not gonna get them mistaken for African American. So this is something you should think about. I changed my name, and when I got pulled over by the police with my new ID, and I gave him, the guy came out like he was ready to tell me get out of the car, nigger. And when I showed him the ID, saw the name on my driver's license, and he was like, "Oh, who are you?" You know, he wanted to ask me like a lot of questions, but I guess he assumed like maybe I'm an African. You know, he could, you know, don't say African American on your driver. Policemen, they see the name and that's what they go by. So they say when they show you on there, you know, John Washington, you getting pulled out the car, nigga, and beat. You know what I mean? You go to the police station, they go, "What's this? This is Washington." Oh, another one. Hey, you get your, but get an African name, and then voila. You start to feel proud about where you're from, and then you know you're gonna have to start saying, "Shoot, I done made a commitment now, man. This Africa better be all it's cracked up to be," because you know. So you go to your friend, you know, "What's your name?" "Oh man, my name is Kunta Kinte." Now, don't call me don't call me Bob Holloway. Kunta, what the fuck? You know what they're doing to people in Africa? Hey, Africans eat people over there. Now you can educate them. You see what I'm saying? So you can, or then at least you can see the closed mindedness and the damage that has been done to our people through propaganda, lies, and why did America put all these lies out? And how did they get into our minds so forcefully? It's because I told you, America spends billions and billions of dollars on false propaganda to keep you in the country, while they reduce your numbers to something that's so small they won't care if you go or not. And many of us are being mistreated at the job now. You have to compete with other races, job. We're not getting the respect that we deserve for the motherfuckers that built that country. See, every white person bowed down to me when I'm in America because I did. You needed me to get your country going. So how can I be disrespected? Because it's not my country. That's why. How come my children gotta go outside amongst all the other children and then they gotta feel like they're the inferior ones? They gotta defend themselves in that regard. So you get black people coming around with blue hair in their hair, pink hair, tattoos all over their face. Identity crisis. Gay, drugs. Identity crisis. You in a country, you're a minority, and people every day you got to deal with them. It only takes one incident from a non-black person to a young black innocent mind to turn them into something that wow. So this is how black people are. Then you go and turn on the TV and there are news like 5 black people is gunning each other down. Get away from all of that. Take all of that nonsense out because in Africa it's not there. And if you've never been outside and lived outside of that, you can't really understand what I'm saying. So I'm saying this channel is for you to take a leap of faith, and don't worry, we're gonna catch you. You can register a Kenyan business from anywhere in the world. Yeah, citizen.com. Where's my moderators? They need to come on here and be able to write those things out for me. My name is Amoni. FedEx is making robots to replace delivery people. Oh, FedEx is making robots. Our jobs have been taken from us a long time ago. Imagine you talking about robots taking away your jobs. How about they call in all the Europeans to come and leave Europe and come to America, bring your huddle masses, and we bring your huddle masses, you're gonna get free land and free labor. And we was the free labor. How about those days? You forgot about them. So what they're doing with robots is just that's just a little bit of thing compared to what they have done to us. You go around neighborhoods and black communities they didn't even care about us. Here we are, we're the ones that built the country, and then they can just look at Harlem and say, oh, well, it's just a real estate deal. You know, joking. Yeah, I saw that buffering. Okay. So thank you guys for coming on to the live show. And I'm gonna cut this one down to this. I email you, but you not responding. Okay, Millie Lily, if you send me emails, it's gonna be difficult for me to get those emails. I'm trying to see strange emails in my email box. But if you go on the Facebook channel group site, you'll get me. Message me on Facebook is the best way to get me. But if you know, the rest of you guys know I'm regularly answering your emails and your questions. I hope you guys can see that. Trevor Baker, why do you hate gay people? Oh, this guy. Don't hate gay people, but I know that won't stop you from getting on this channel. Okay, so that's jokes. Okay, Evalyne, time for me to go because that guy's back. Enjoyed you very so much. See you later. Thank you. T is difficult to get Kenyan citizenship. It's not very difficult. So until we meet again, this is Amon Ra saying peace.